Hello, everybody. Yeah, we've got we've got a fair few hidden emotes. If you guys are able to discover them. Added a couple new ones, some oldies but goodies. Let's see. Here we go. We got a lot of cute little emotes. Calliope Salcrame, hello! Happy Pride Month to you as well. My breasts currently repping the month. I decided I would try to do a thing where I look nice every day. It's this crazy new strategy called looking nice on stream for Pride Month. Hello to all you lovely people. 10-letter name, Irked, It's a Ro-Ro, Punky Gal, Metal Kitty Mom, KBS, Stoudman. Hello, lovelies. How are you all doing? Hello, Catalina Gearbox. Hello, Calliope Salcrame. Hello, Lily Love Stuff. You always look great. Well, today I'm playing with fire because, usually the rule of thumb seems to be that two like semi-transparent garments are sufficient for creating coverage, and that failed me today, but I decided to go live instead of fixing it and throw on a cool leather jacket instead. Formerly known as giving a fuck, indeed. How we all doing, folks? We just got silliness today. We got an Andrew Tate interview. He gave his first interview since he was released from Romanian prison to house arrest. We'll go over it. I'm sure it'll be a clusterfuck. We'll also talk about SCOTUS terminating union power in the United States, which is sadly not an understatement. Basically, in a nutshell, we'll go into it a bit more later, but the Supreme Court ruled that employers can sue employees for the consequences of those employees not showing up to work because they're on strike. Insane. Yeah, I mean, talk about making it clear you're a wage slave. We'll also be we'll probably go over this first. It's just a fun story. Donald Trump has coined a new phrase for his fan base and political base. He's calling them MAGADONIANS now. I don't know why. He just started doing it today on Truth Social. And you have to say it in all caps, otherwise it doesn't count. And and if we get through all of that, I'm gonna play some Hollow Knight. And if you guys get to 50 subs this stream, we're gonna do a little experimentarino called, we're gonna try and stream the Star Trek show, Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 1, because it has been released onto YouTube for some reason by the show holders. So we're going to give that a shot, and if we get hit by the copyright gods, I'm gonna nuke the stream from orbit, and we'll see if we can get away with it on Twitch, okay? That's the plan, baby! Interesting move, YouTube. Well, you know, YouTube didn't release it for free. Paramount Plus released it for free on YouTube, which is... I guess they're trying to advertise the second season of the show, but I haven't seen it, but I love Star Trek, so I'm willing to give that a shot. And I thought it might be like a fun thing. We'll see. They got the entire first season on there. We'll try out an episode, see how it goes. If we can get away with it, we'll do a little version of the Gordo. It's very good. I watched it last year. Keep in mind, I haven't watched any of the new Star Trek stuff that was on Paramount Plus, because I never had that. Wonderful. I was walking home from getting snacks and I noticed my cinnamon roll backpack plush has the trans flag colors on him, so I guess I'm repping trans pride too. Hell yeah! I hope you got some good snacks. And congratulations on getting your lights set up, Catalina Gearbox. Hello, Ashley. I have never subbed to Paramount Plus, and I never will. Before we get into all of that, it's going to be a really good show tonight, folks. But before we get into all of that, just have a little message, little thing maybe some of you guys can do. So the Humanist Report, friend of the show, is currently struggling because YouTube has completely demonetized his channel. I don't know why. He doesn't know why. But we're gonna watch his plea and see what actions we can take to show some solidarity with him, okay?
Okay, I debated on whether or not to make this video. I really hate doing these kinds of things because I feel like if you're a viewer, you shouldn't have to hear about me gripe about the things that are affecting me behind the scenes. But it's to the point where I feel like if I don't use my large platform to advocate for myself here, I may lose this large platform permanently. And at this point, I don't think that that's hyperbole. So for those of you who don't know, I lost monetization entirely on this channel on May 1st. No videos can be monetized, even older ones that were already approved for monetization. I can't take super chats. I can't take super thanks. The hundreds of members.
Yeah, like this is like some grade A bullshit. They aren't even telling him what he did wrong. They just took away the monetization. And meanwhile, like, fucks at the Daily Wire, like, keep their monetized videos not, like, indefinitely. They never get banned.
Who signed up to contribute either $1, $3, or $5 each month. Almost all of them were canceled. I had hundreds. We're down to 22. And the reason why they're being canceled is because since my channel currently does not support monetization, well, if you joined and your membership is up for review, well, since there's no monetization, it just gets automatically canceled. That is a permanent loss of a member. And unless they manually join again, if I get monetization back, then that's just, it's over, it's gone. If you were a member for 2 years and you have that 2-year badge, well, you lose that badge now. So what happened exactly? Why was I demonetized? Did I break the terms of service? Did I post something a little bit too spicy? No, it was completely arbitrary. So on May 1st, I officially left my MCN. For those of you who don't know, smaller channels join networks called multi-channel networks, and we become partners with these larger networks because since we're too small to have our own rep to advocate for us to YouTube, we oftentimes have larger networks represent us. So my network partner was TYT Network, and I was with them since 2017. I left as of May. But as soon as I was unplugged from TYT Network, I was automatically demonetized and was forced to reapply for the YouTube Partner Program in order to continue being monetized. Now, I found that very bizarre because
look, Mike has almost like 500,000 like subscribers on YouTube. I have less than 2,000. I'm a YouTube partner. Like, there's no reason at all he should have, first of all, should even have to go through the reapplication process. That's ridiculous.
I was a YouTube partner before I joined my MCN back in 2017. I was already approved for monetization. Every time we upload a video to YouTube, we have to rate our video to determine if it's eligible for advertisings. And YouTube determined that my ratings were very high because I accurately demonetized videos that I needed to if I knew that they weren't suitable for all advertisers. So for me to have to reapply to the program seemed so arbitrary and unnecessary, especially considering that larger creators like Ethan Klein, for example, who I watch, just in April, he had a huge dispute with his MCN, BBTV. He left, and there was no disruption to his monetization as far as I know. I watch his channel pretty regularly. No disruption to memberships, nothing. But a month later, so much changed on YouTube that me leaving an MCN results in losing monetization, and leaving an MCN amicably. By the way, my MCN, TYT, is currently trying to advocate on my behalf to figure out what's going on, even though they're...
Now, as a small channel, now I'm, at the very least, I know not to join an MCN, I guess.
No longer my partner, even though I'm not their client, right? So nobody knows what's going on, and I've talked to YouTube, and they don't know what's going on. They keep telling me different things. So the initial thing that I got was, well, it's going to take 2 to 4 weeks. I assumed it wouldn't take that long initially because, again, I've been a partner for a very long time in good standing, no TOS violations, no community guideline strikes. But within a week, I get a little bit impatient and I reach out to a YouTube representative, just basic support. I don't have an actual rep to represent me.
Yeah, no one at YouTube outside of, like, you know, several million subscriber channels have, like, an actual human being to talk to at YouTube. Same with Twitch, by the way. Same with Twitch.
But I talked to YouTube creator support and they said, okay, I looked at this. It looks like monetization is imminent for you. So I thought, okay, great. This isn't going to take that long. It's going to hurt because I'm losing a week's worth of revenue. And then it's going to take time once I'm remonetized to build up that revenue again. But as long as it happens quickly, that's fine. Well, weeks go by. So 2 weeks later, I talked to another representative and they look into it and they say, okay, well, you know what? It's taking a little bit longer. I'm sorry. Maybe there's a backup, but it's definitely not going to be longer than 30 days. I can guarantee your channel is going to be remonetized within 30 days. Day 30 rolls around, still no monetization. I talk to a YouTube rep and basically they say, well, okay, it's taking a little bit longer. Let's wait a couple more days. That was on Tuesday. A couple more days rolls around. No monetization. So what the fuck is going on? Now, the response to these folks, when you talk to them...
I do have to say, like, at a certain point, if this continues, like, there should absolutely be grounds to sue. Like, I'm not a lawyer or anything. That just seems like something you could sue YouTube over, you know?
They're indistinguishable from AI bots. I don't even know if I'm talking to a real person. I mean, I think they are real people, but they basically just copy and paste things that YouTube tells them to. I don't think they have any information that I don't already have. So I don't even necessarily know if it's their fault that they can't be helpful. The problem is that this is my livelihood, and now I've lost...
Yeah, exactly, 10-letter kitten. Or 10-letter kitten. Sorry, Snuggle Kitten, 10-letter name. 10-letter name. Exactly. Like, there's no reason for it. He didn't get demonetized because he broke TOS or anything. He just got demonetized for no reason. And it has now cost him, quite literally, I'm sure, like, thousands of dollars. And as, like, a smaller creator, like, that must be devastating. You know? And, like, he's not a small creator, but, like, you turn off the money tap, it's gonna get bad real quick, you know?
A month, permanently lost almost all of my memberships, and now it's to the point where I don't even know if monetization is ever going to return to my channel, because we were talking about this on Leftist Mafia last night, and we were joking about, hey, you should play the gay card, it's Pride, you can do what you want. And I thought, I don't want to use that because that feels really disingenuous, right? But then I slept
Nah,
on
use it.
and I started thinking, oh my God, wait a
Do it.
second. How many times in my life have I seen people get ghosted or been ghosted myself for being gay? I've seen landlords not rent to my friends when he realizes that they're gay. I've had friends all of a sudden cease contact when they get with a partner who's homophobic. So I started thinking about this. And again, this is conjecture. I don't know for sure what the fuck is going on, but the specialists who review my channel for monetization, these are just normal people. And my channel is a very politically charged channel, right? I talk about LGBTQ plus issues.
Yep.
I talk about a lot of political issues.
Yep.
So am I being punished? Because it feels like I'm being punished.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. There is a part of me wondering if the new, like, there was that new president of YouTube who took over, who's like a big time crypto bro. I'm wondering if if he has essentially like tipped the scales in terms of like who can and cannot make a living on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I got no evidence for that. I'm just wondering if those two things are related at all. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, all of this seems weird as hell.
Is there somebody who's just anti-gay who thinks that this groomer shouldn't be monetized? I mean, you start, and again, I want to emphasize that this is conjecture. I have no evidence for this, but you start to kind of, like, your mind goes to weird places when you begin to get desperate, right? And that's where we're at. I'm losing sleep over this. I'm extremely stressed out. My mental health has deteriorated because
I'm sure
if they're never going to monetize me again, that's their decision. They have the right to do that. But I at least deserve an answer. I deserve to know whether or not that's the case. But it's the uncertainty that is killing me because they're making it seem as if there's no way of telling, right? These specialists, they're in some sort of a fucking underground bunker and you can't check up on them and say, hey, this large 400,000 plus LGBTQ plus creator, any updates on that? Now, I reached out and Team YouTube on Twitter responded with, I mean, they're not even using their good AI. That was my response to them because they basically said, oh, well, if it's taking longer than 30 days, that means that there is additional reviews going on. There's something extra going on. Perhaps something is wrong. They didn't say this, but that's kind of the subtext, right? But that's such horseshit. Why is my channel getting so much scrutiny when I've been a partner for years on this fucking platform? I've been a partner for years. Every single video I rate accurately according to YouTube for monetization. I am safe for ads. And yet, meanwhile, they're being overly rigorous in scrutinizing my channel, but Ben Shapiro gets monetized. Gets floated to the top with the algorithm. Candace Owens spreads hate, spews hate speech on a daily basis. She's monetized, but the Humanist Report...
Candace Owens literally out here calling, like, gay people pedophiles and trans people groomers. Like, I'm not, like, paraphrasing here. That's what she called... Like, she did a video, and we might go over it later, but she did a video recently where she talks about how there's, like, a gay cabal in charge of Target merchandise who are, you know, pedophiles. Like, she's monetized.
No monetization. It is so draining to have to deal with this every fucking day. To check that monetization page and still see it's in progress. So it's to the point where I'm not really sure what to do. I don't know if this is the end of the road for the Humanist Report because I can't do this full time if I can't support myself, right? I left a job at my university to do YouTube full time. I gave up a second year of funding that I secured for the PhD program that I was in to do this full time because I felt like I could make a difference. But if these platforms aren't going to respect LGBTQ plus creators and effectively try to eliminate us from it just by not granting us monetization forever, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I really didn't want to talk about this. One, because I feel like other creators oftentimes, particularly on the right, they use instances of like demonetization and whatnot to push some sort of a fucking grift. And I hate that. And I don't want people to think that I'm trying to exploit this crisis for my own monetary gain. But I'm coming to you saying, I have to use my platform now to advocate for myself, because being quiet and polite to YouTube very clearly has not behooved me. And, you know, it never made sense to bite the hand that feeds me and start attacking YouTube more directly. But what else do I do? Being quiet hasn't worked, so I've got to make as much noise as possible and get them to pay attention to me, because they've been trying to ignore me, and I just can't allow that to happen. I can't allow that to happen. So if this is it, then I've got to go out screaming loudly, right? I'm not going to go down without a fight. But if I'm not going to get monetization back, I at least deserve answers. I at least deserve something more than a copy and pasted response from their support page. I can just go read that myself. I've read it all, trust me. And here's what I will say.
By the way, I'm going to put a link in chat here for you guys. Go check out his Twitter thread on this and respond to it with adding Team YouTube or at YouTube creators. You can use the hashtag #MonetizeMike. You know, make some fucking noise, you know? Because we're all in this together, and Mike's a good egg, okay? He's a good bean. And he deserves our support, because God knows there are too few good beans in the world. Let me just pull up chat here. Pop out YouTube chat. I always forget to do this. There we go. We did it. Do. One second. Gonna post it in this chat. There we go. We did it.
If you were a member on this channel, you can still be a member. I get that it's not as convenient, but you can do the same thing on Patreon and get most of the same benefits. I'll put my Patreon down below to anyone who wants to support me, but you don't have to if you don't want to, because, I mean, there's so much going on in the world where that money is better used, I think, honestly. If I'm being 100% honest. You know, supporting a YouTuber, not necessarily the best use of your funds. But if you were already supporting me, if you were a member, then I would highly consider switching to Patreon, because that is the most secure way to support creators. I've been on Patreon as long as I've been on YouTube, and I've had 0 disruptions, whereas on YouTube I've had multiple disruptions. So I really appreciate all of the other large creators who are trying to, behind the scenes, get this sorted out for me. I appreciate my MCN, TYT, trying to look into this. It's been very, very stressful. I haven't been posting as much, not because I'm like angry that I'm demonetized, but because, I mean, I was already burnt out before.
You can be angry about being demonetized.
This, right? Just the news cycle is eating away at my fucking brain. But to now have to deal with demonetization on top of it, talk about all of these ghouls who hate queer people and not even have monetization, not even be able to support myself, it's just draining. So I've been posting less. If I get monetization back, I will go back to my normal schedule of 2 videos per day. But I mean, if there is some sort of a conspiracy, and again, no evidence for that, but if YouTube, whoever's reviewing my channel, just hates me and wants me to suffer and wants to deter me from posting, it's working. There's a very easy way to deter creators from posting if you don't want them to post. And it's just, the thing that really pisses me off is the double standard. Like, how many community guideline strikes do these right-wingers get, right? Matt Walsh was making $100,000 spreading hate and bigotry. He admitted that. And yet the Humanist Report bend over backwards to appease YouTube, try to do everything appropriate, even started censoring curse words at one point until they said, no, it's fine. You can curse again. They gotta bust out the magnifying glass to really go over every single thing I've ever said or done to make sure I'm ad safe when, again, I've been a partner for 8 years, but this is the thanks that I get. So I'm sorry to unleash this on all of you. I might be making matters worse. YouTube might be pissed off after seeing this, but they already don't care, clearly. So this is kind of like my last resort. Either monetize me or kill off the channel permanently, but don't leave me in limbo forever, because that's just so unnecessarily cruel. Let me know if I'm going to have my livelihood, YouTube.
Please retweet this on Twitter. That's the Twitter thread I just linked to all of you, or tweet to @TeamYouTube with the hashtag MonetizeMike. And I do encourage you to do that. No, don't just retweet. Also leave comments on that tweet thread with hashtag MonetizeMike. Let's get it rolling a little bit. As much as my small community can do, you know? KBS, I'm not familiar with the Humanist Report being Bernie or bust, but from everything I've seen recently, they're good eggs. Oh yeah. God, well, oh, they're... Yeah, by the way, yeah, this just dropped today. Interesting, dovetailing nicely with the YouTube content. YouTube will now allow 2020 election denialism content, reversing its previous policy. So, yeah, now we can finally get back to the real business. Lying about the outcome of the 2020 election and sowing doubt about democracy itself. It's wonderful. Finally, everything I always dreamed of. Being able to lie about elections without any kind of repercussion whatsoever. I love it. I love it so much. I love that we have these megacorps that basically control all of our social services in America because everything is privatized. And not only do they control everything, but also they just don't give a fuck. You know? When fascism comes to America, they will drop all pretense of being pro-LGBTQ and immediately side with them, as soon as they feel more money can be made by doing so. That's the fundamental, like, flaw of capitalism when it comes to governance, you know? And it just becomes more apparent every day in this country. That must be the new CEO. Yep. It's cool stuff. Gotta love it. We got that open. Don't think we need this open. Got some tabs open that I don't need. Okay. I think it's just K-O-C-H, no E. Coke. It was the one policy that actually seemed to be enforced too. That and the COVID disinfo one. But I actually have a permanent strike on my YouTube channel because at one point I did a video about new CDC guidelines that had come out during the pandemic. And that, like, me going over that was apparently disinformation. So that was cool. Now I just have a permanent strike on my YouTube account for that. Yep. Yeah, no, 10-letter name, it's true. Let's see. What's the exact language here? Yes, I have an active. Let's see. Yes. So I got clapped on a video titled "The FDA's Pfizer COVID-19 Vaccine Overview." And I got flagged for medical misinformation for reading from the FDA's report. And then I appealed it, and it got rejected. And now I just have a permanent community guideline strike on my channel. Super cool. Yep. Also, we are 2 subscribers short of 1,650 subscribers over on YouTube, and that would be cool to hit. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button over on YouTube, please do it. Do it now. Do it hard. Do it to me. Let's see here. Let's talk about the Magadonians. Okay? So if you guys have not been paying attention to Truth Social, and frankly, why would you? Donald Trump has been over there just truthing up a storm. And specifically just a series of tweets, or truths, sorry. A series of truths about, Magadonians. And, no, not Macedonians. Magadonians. It's clever, you see. But, here we go. We're just gonna dive right into it. Fox should embrace MAGA. Their primetime viewership is down 37... again, alt caps. Fox should embrace MAGA. Their primetime viewership is down 37% from just a year ago. All because the very smart, ever-brilliant Magadonians know that, despite all the fake lip service, Fox News is pushing Ron DeSantis, or anyone else for that matter, because they hate the greatest America First president to ever put on a suit and tie, me. They are all globalists, and globalists will never make America great again. Also, just very anti-Semitic, just on its face. Again, globalism is like a buzzword for Jews. It's just the socially acceptable way of blaming Jews for your societal ills. We are Magadonians. We are very smart. We stick together as one. We follow Truth Social. We put America first, and we will make America great again. Again, we are Magadonians. We are very smart. We stick together as one. Just that we are very smart. Just holy shit. Just holy shit. We are Magadonians. We are very smart. We're the smartest. God. It's silly as fuck, man. Like, it'd be so much funnier if, like, there wasn't a real chance he was gonna get in power, you know? It'd be so much funnier to laugh at Donald Trump if, like, he hadn't already been president of the United States and there was a really decent chance he would become president of the United States again. You know? How do I keep low-key forgetting that? Right? Right? I don't know, man. He has a chance, but not a good chance. I mean, I still think he has a good chance of winning, you know? Like, all it really takes is a less mobilized, like, voter turnout for 2024, and, like, I don't know, libs might not be quite as keen on Joe Biden after he's basically torpedoed 90% of, like, the things they cared about. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, and this is just kind of like a little like low key kind of like, hey, this is why we didn't want in-person schooling. Hey, this is why maybe sending children to school in the middle of an airborne pandemic might be a bad idea. Hey, more than 70% of US household COVID spread started with a child, study suggests. What the fuck was I telling you guys during the pandemic? That if they send the kids back to school, they're going to be infection vectors for the adults. And wouldn't you know, that happened in a huge number of cases, leading to the deaths of over 1 million Americans. And nothing will be learned, and some states are making it flat out illegal for any type of medical action on a societal scale. So, fuck. Hello, Boiled Peanuts. Hello, Datura Dude. How you doing? Hey, VCC TV. It, I don't know, man. Like, at a certain point, Republicans just act like they want to send, like, literal plague ships into nursing homes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just, man, we knew this was the case. We knew it was an airborne contagion. It's so fucking frustrating. There's a reason, guys, if you know any teacher whatsoever, you know there's a reason that they get sick like 12 times a year. And it's because children are little disease factories who don't know how to wash their hands or flush toilets, and then they run around and touch everything, and they get people sick. Yeah, we needed to get the riffraff back to work, so it was back to school for the kids. Yeah, true. God damn it. Excuse me. Yeah. Here's a quote from the study. Once U.S. schools reopened in fall 2020, children contributed more to inferred within household transmission when they were in school and less during summer and winter breaks, a pattern consistent for 2 consecutive school years. Meaning that there was less spread when they weren't in school. Like, measurably less spread of an airborne contagion. Crazy. Yep, my mom is a teacher. I'm immunocompromised, but luckily I don't get sick super often. It just takes me longer to get over than other people. I'm sorry. I know COVID, like, with immunocompromise, COVID, wow, getting through COVID while immunocompromised, I'm sure that was hard. And is hard because COVID is still a thing. It didn't stop being a thing just because they cut off social benefits for it. We should do a study on this study. God. Okay. Hope you're all doing good tonight. I'm doing good tonight, Material Squirrel. Are you doing good? I need to run, but when I get back, we'll be doing Andrew Tate talking to the BBC in his first interview since being released from Romanian prison. So, BRB. Hello, nerds. What's up? Being nerdy and such? I thought so. Y'all need to learn some how to be a real man from the realest of men himself, Andrew. Currently in jail for currently under investigation and charged with many sex crimes. Tate! Let's go. Straight to the source. Keeping the mesh theme going? Yeah.
Andrew Tate. Hello. You've agreed to do an interview with the BBC today.
Yep.
The material is going to be published on television, on radio, online.
Perfect.
We are doing an interview with you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concerns about...
I mean, keep in mind he's currently under house arrest for human trafficking women for sex crimes.
The things I say, I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have. I would argue that a lot of the things that are already out there inside of the legacy media and the matrix as a whole are far more damaging than the things I say.
It's the concern about the influence you have being a harmful influence, but let's start with the allegations.
Not necessarily a harmful influence. The fact that I'm massively influential over the youth, and I understand that, but it's my influence as a whole which...
I just gotta say, like, this room has really ominous vibes. Just like the weird Chad picture back here, the out of place gorilla statue right in front of the security cameras, like the off center table here, like just bad vibes.
which people are afraid of, not necessarily the things I say.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you
It probably
raped
has his
anybody?
cracker.
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for
Absolutely
money?
not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. Firstly, let's begin let's start at the beginning.
Who is this poor reporter? Some lady with the BBC. I don't know her name.
I'm facing charges. The first one you mentioned, the rape one, has already been thrown out by a judge because there's no evidence of it. Secondly, it's very difficult for me to sit here and have a very frank and honest conversation with you while we're in the territory of Romania about a legal case that's going on within Romania. I have to protect myself. I've agreed to do an interview with you, and I want to be as honest with you as possible, but I can't incriminate myself in any way, and I have to be very careful with what I talk about.
There are no charges yet.
Correct, there are no charges. There are no charges,
and
I've agreed to speak to you, but I have to be as honest and frank as I can while also protecting myself and following my legal counsel.
So let's talk about what you've said yourself then. You have said on the website for your original website for the Hustlers University that...
Also, just as an FYI, 3 new women back in April came forward with rape and abuse allegations against Andrew Tate. 3 new ones. And they are planning to sue him. Yes. Yeah. The women have told Sky News in the UK that they plan to sue Tate. They first reported their accusations to British police 8 years ago, but claimed the authorities failed to properly investigate before the case was dropped altogether. So when he says that case was thrown out by a judge, little bit premature.
You emotionally manipulated women to fall in love with you so that you could get them working in the sex industry for your financial gain.
As I said, I have to be very careful with what I say, but let's put it this way. No women are coming out against me and accusing me of doing it.
Yes, they are.
3 women just did in April.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Who?
There's testimony from the current investigation
The current
There are
investigation,
other
which I
women
cannot
who
discuss,
spoke.
which I know intimately and you don't, I can tell you right now that the women who are in this case file, there are 2 American women who have been caught already admitting they're lying, and then nobody else is accusing me of anything.
To begin with, it's very common in cases like this that the alleged victims do not always see themselves as victims.
Well, that's very interesting. It's actually extremely interesting because if I was...
But by the way, in case anyone doubts that these women exist, they're currently being represented by one Matt Jury, who is a lawyer. So they exist. They just don't want their names plastered all over the internet because the creepy sex cult that Andrew Tate has cultivated would absolutely try and destroy them, intimidate them, etc.
a matrix-controlled...
By the way, their allegations include rape, sexual and physical assault, strangulation with belts, and holding guns against their heads. So...
organization. My goal was to slander somebody and try and destroy their name. You're telling me that they've chosen a crime, which 1 is heinous, of course, because it damages the person's credibility, and 2, you're saying that even if everyone else involved, if you have 5 people and everyone's sitting there saying, no, nobody's hurt anybody, we like Andrew, we've all worked together, or we're friends, etc.
That's not what everybody's saying.
No.
Let me read you some of the testimony from the current investigation.
Can I finish this?
One of the witnesses said...
By the way, Andrew Tate's legal team is fully aware of this because one of his spokespeople released this statement saying, by choosing to address the press first before any legal action had been taken, the women in this potential case prove beyond reasonable doubt that they are not seeking accountability or justice, but publicity and monetary compensation. And it's just like, yeah, they talked to the press about this, so that's part of the legal process. You can talk to the press prior to pressing charges, prior to suing. You can talk to people prior to that, actually. And Andrew Tate should know he's doing it right now.
Can I finish, please?
You're not answering the
Can I
question I've
finish,
asked
please?
you. You're not answering the question I've
I am
asked
answering
you.
the question. You're
Let
saying,
me read you the
you're
testimony of
saying,
one of the witnesses.
you're saying the people who are involved in this, even if they say they're not victims, that they're still going to try and attack me and
They
pretend
are
they're victims.
treated as victims by the case that's ongoing. And not all of them are saying that. One of the witnesses says...
We can't go into the case. The case is open and active.
Well, let's just be clear that
Yeah, you can kind of get a sense of it from here, but like Andrew Tate has like a team of like 6 people standing around watching this to make sure that this reporter doesn't say anything too spicy.
not all of the witnesses in the case are behaving in the way you describe. And even those that are, it doesn't bar them from being treated as victims by the prosecution, by the case.
We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely not really sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely not really, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's...
And he has no motive to lie or portray himself as anything other than what he is, a completely innocent man, of course. You know, he has no motivation whatsoever to try and portray himself in the best possible light.
been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated, and I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system, and I'm not going to incriminate myself because you're trying to prod me. You are wrong, and we're going to have to accept that for now and ask and talk about something else.
Let me read you then what you have said about
Sure.
what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
That's
that's
exactly what
no,
you said
that's
on your
that's
website.
that's no. I've never said that. That's something that you found on the internet. Doesn't mean I've said it.
In
And
your
and again,
Look, that might have been on my website, but I didn't say that. Don't you tell lies about me. It's a direct quote on your own website. Look, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I've never even heard of that website.
once again, if any female on the planet has a problem with me, I strongly recommend her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges. It's actually very interesting that Me, one of the most famous people in the world, who's been vilified by the legacy media and placed all over the internet, while everyone has attacked me from every single angle, while federal agencies from multiple countries have called over 2,000 women who know me, we stand here with 0 new accusations since my arrest. 0. If you took any famous person, any man of substantial wealth, and you called 2,000 women who knew him, he'd find an ex-girlfriend is upset, somebody who wants money who's upset. They called 2,000 people who knew me and could not find a single woman to make a new complaint. The only complaints they have against me are the initial complaints, which we can prove are lies, and that's where it stands. So I'm not going to sit here and allow you to pretend that I'm some kind of evil predator, when actually I'd argue the fact.
You know, it's really interesting, by the way. A lot of these manosphere types try and defend like their shitty behavior by claiming that, like, oh yes, any rich person, if you call around to enough women, some woman is going to claim that they were raped by him. And it's just like, well, that's not true. Like, there are plenty of wealthy people who don't go and sexually assault people. Like, that should be pretty patently obvious. And not only do they not go and sexually assault people, they also aren't accused of sexual assault by people. So, I don't know, if it was as prevalent as he's seeming to claim it is, literally every rich man would have, like, several active cases against him by, like, women trying to claim that they were raped. And that's just not the case.
I'd argue the fact that people who've been investigated to the level I've been investigated to, if you were to take the average man on the street and investigate his entire life for 14 months, call everyone who's ever known him, and vilify him in the media, and encourage people to come forward for money, and you try to contact every ex-girlfriend he's ever had.
Would come forward and accuse those people.
Not only is it like, oh, people are after them because after these men because of their money, he's literally trying to argue if you talk to any man on the street, you're gonna find like several women who claim that he raped them. Like, that's insane. That is so insane. Oh yeah, of course he's attempting to bully her. Like, she's in his stronghold, you know? Like, she's in his house, and like, who is she? She's just a woman, you know? But like, he can't help but, like, you've noticed it, right? You've noticed his voice, like, trembling. Just, like, he's legitimately scared of the accusations she's bringing here, and the only response he has to them is, well, anyone would lie about any man. So, yeah.
People of rape and accuse those
I
people
think that
of
you would have a lot more. I
manipulation.
think you would have a lot more flack than I've got. I'm actually such a nice person that I've never had anyone come at
spoken
me.
to somebody since your.
I'm actually such a nice person that I've never had anyone come at me, except for, you know, the women who are accusing you of, like, beating them and raping them. You know, yeah, you're just such a nice guy.
Arrest, who says exactly those things, that with you it's all manipulation, there's an ulterior
Is this
motive
Sophie?
to everything.
Is this Sophie? Oh, it's Sophie, the fake name, no face, the story that was
wanting
invented.
to please him and wanting him to be happy, that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what is she
That's
accused? Has she accused me of a crime? This imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is
Has she accused me of a crime?
emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question, and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here, because I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you the question.
Correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the answers.
No, we're equal here. I've allowed.
No, that's not how an interview works. I'm the interviewer now, because we're in my house. Yeah, definitely acting like the world's most innocent, misunderstood man here.
You into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving you relevance by speaking to you, and I'm telling you now, this Sophie.
I'm giving you relevance. Yeah, I'm sure this journalist is paid enough to care about how much relevance you're giving her.
Which the BBC has invented, which there's no face of, nobody knows who she is.
The
and
BBC did not invent.
Of course not. And because you never invent anything. and she's not filed criminal charges against me. What are we talking about here? What is she saying?
We're talking about emotional manipulation into the sex industry for your financial gain.
Absolute garbage. She has not filed criminal, this person, if they exist, has not filed criminal charges against me. I welcome anybody who believes I've harmed them, male or female, any point in the past to file criminal charges against me, and I will fight them. I know who I am, and I know what I've done, and I know the truth, and I know that I'll be found innocent of this.
I will fight them, says man who's literally incapable of viewing anything as other than like a physical combat
attack. The reason I'm being attacked is because of my massive influence, not because I've ever hurt anybody. And for you to sit here and say that everybody around you is saying you're innocent, but that doesn't matter because the state will say they're victims, and they're just going to grab everybody you know and call everybody victims, even if they say they're not, and try and put you in jail. You are describing a matrix attack. You're not describing...
I don't know. What if say one of them had I don't know, audio recordings of you threatening her to back up her claims? What if they had video? Cuz I don't know if you guys remember, folks, but they have him on tape threatening these women. Like threatening, like, "Oh, I only choked you a little bit." Like, they literally have audio of him saying this shit.
Human trafficking.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human trafficking.
We will see what women go. We will see what women go to court at the end of this trial. We'll see which women go to court.
Can I finish, please?
We'll see which women go to court.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human
Sophie
trafficking.
hasn't gone to court. Sophie doesn't exist.
And I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length.
Sophie doesn't exist.
And other media organisations about what they say is emotional manipulation and coercion. And I'm quoting back to you your own words where you describe
They're not my words.
Coercion.
They're words
They're
words you found on the internet, and Sophie doesn't exist.
On your
so let's move on to
website,
the next subject.
In your voice.
Move on to the next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one for a minute. So there's other places in that same website where you say you get girls to fall in love with you and they do it because they love you, because they want to do what you say. Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you.
Once
That's
again,
coercion, that's emotional manipulation, that's abuse.
what you've found are clips from the internet, some text from the internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should be put
Your
in jail.
website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes.
Also, just for funsies, apparently this is a video of Andrew Tate working out. I can't be bothered to verify it, but
faster Tate, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. Man, you're never gonna get to 100. Hurry up. 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, 2. Yay, 98 to go. Obviously, you're happy to see me again, Andrew. If not, I'm gonna whip you later with the sticks. Everyone old school knows what the sticks mean. It's not baseball, but you know.
this looks like a terrible
Oh, sorry, I forgot to
workout.
count. 3, 4, 5, 6. Why? 94 to go.
This looks like a I'm not like a kinesiologist or anything. This just doesn't look like an effective workout. Is this the BBC version or the version he posted? We're watching the full-length version and Ngitia CDN. But also, just like looking through like the replies here, I've noticed Andrew smokes cigarettes. Nah, some happened in that jail cell. That arch telling me everything I need to know. It's just Andrew Tate fans calling him gay, or thinking that he got fucked in jail into being gay. Which is also very deeply weird, but also this exercise is weird. I don't like it.
Faster Tate,
This
1.4,
seems like bad posture,
1.5.
but you know, whatever. I just thought it was like a weird thing. to introduce you guys to. Here we go.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Check my website. Next.
It's the website you've taken down, and I wonder why those comments have been taken
No
down.
website's been taken down. My website is the same. It's been the same for a very long time.
The comments on this website, on the original website, have been taken down, and I wonder why.
You are accusing me, I'm guessing, what you're trying to say is you're accusing me and you're trying to say that I'm guilty of the things I'm accused of and that I'm emotionally manipulating people.
I'm saying that you...
What? Why is he like... He's like sitting there being like, okay, this is the mind game you're playing with me, journalist. And the journalist is just sitting there like, I'm just asking you questions, bro. Like, you can respond how you want to them. What's your game? I thought you came here for answers.
You have said you emotionally manipulated people here for your own financial gain.
No, absolutely not.
And I'm asking you about that.
Absolutely not is the answer. I look forward to the end of this trial. I look forward to clearing my name. I look forward to the BBC and the legacy media having to say not guilty and having to tell the truth. As I've said before, the only other person who's been found, despite absolute rigorous, destructive levels of investigation and prodding into my life, is this imaginary Sophie by the BBC who doesn't exist. And if you were to find any single other man on earth and try and analyze his life forensically to the level they've done mine, you would find genuine damage to people. I don't hurt people.
It's not just...
Thousands of women have come out in my defense.
Look, thousands of women say I'm a pretty swell guy, so that's why you shouldn't listen to the 3 that say I raped them. Well, Andrew, no one's accusing you of raping every woman you meet. That's not actually one of the accusations.
Thousands of women have come out in my defense, and you've not mentioned that. Thousands of women come out in my defense.
Because the problem is when women accuse you of serious crimes.
Okay,
And emotional
but
manipulation.
let's agree that
That's
thousands
the
of women...
problem.
let's agree that
It's
thousands...
not the problem that some people say you haven't done it. It's a problem that some people say you have.
Thousands of women come out in my defense, and as we stand right now, we have an open criminal investigation. The people who are involved in the criminal investigation are saying that we're not victims of anything. Andrew's fine, he's never hurt us. You're saying, no, I have the opposite to that. I have to counter that. I have someone called Sophie with no face, a fake name, who we've invented, and she's not accusing you of anything criminal. So I...
Yeah, you know, it's totally normal for the legal system to prop up a person who doesn't exist. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense, Andrew. Yeah, the judge is just gonna be like, yeah, you know, you got no proof that the plaintiff even exists here in the case. So, you know, that's fine. That's normal for a courtroom.
I don't see the whole point
You
you're trying to
say
make
you
here.
manipulate women, they say you manipulate women. Why wouldn't people think you do?
I'm not here... Do you think I'm manipulating you?
Oh, Bill Casey. You're such a card assuming women have names.
I'm asking you about the testimony you've given on your website and the testimony
No,
women have given
you've
about
printed
you.
something off that you found on Reddit, and you're going to sit here and say that that makes me a bad person. I'm saying that you should know better as a journalist and do some proper journalism. Let's investigate the fact that
I
thousands...
think you should answer my questions
I am.
properly.
I am.
I am. What do you mean? I am answering your questions by getting belligerent and telling you to do a different job than the one you came here specifically to do. Yeah.
I already have, and we should move on. She's just trying to start an argument.
It's not only about the criminal allegations. It's a much...
I don't know how many of you guys know this, but interviewers don't look to start fights with the people they're interviewing. Andrew just has no other way of, like, understanding a social interaction other than it's a fight.
much bigger issue. You've got children's organisations in the UK, you've got rape organisations in the UK, you've got the police naming you by name as someone who has a harmful influence on children and on women in the UK and elsewhere because of the things you say, because of the way you present gender relations, the way you say men should treat women.
That's very upsetting. And the reason that's very upsetting is because I know that's not true. I'm genuinely a good person. I believe my impact on the world is positive. In fact, if you were to read the comment section of nearly any video I post,
Man, look, I don't want to go like full like body language expert here or anything, but like you can hear the tension in his voice, right? Like, you can hear the defensiveness if you close your eyes and just listen to him talk.
Especially by the legacy media. 95% of the population agree with me. Most people know that the things I say are positive. Legacy media as a whole has lost all its credibility in the last 3 to 4 years. Nobody believes it. And it's a shame, it's a massive shame that the BBC come here and try and push and purport this idea that I'm a dangerous person.
I'm
anti-drugs. I've never pushed drugs or any, I'm anti-drugs, I'm anti-violence. The UK is facing a knife crime epidemic, and they're going to sit here and say that I'm the most dangerous man in the UK.
You have said you're the most.
I mean, I would kind of, I feel like I would, if I was interviewing Andrew Tate, I would just let him ramble, you know, like, just be like, ask him a question, just let him go. Sure, you want to talk about the knife crime in the UK, you do it, buddy. That doesn't make you look better.
Dangerous man in the world.
I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world.
You've also said that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner. I'm glad you find that funny.
I find it funny that you're sitting here saying that I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world, and you believe that's. When did I say that?
I'm asking if you believe it.
No, you said you're the most dangerous man in the world. Is that some kind of proof that I'm dangerous? Am I Dr. Evil now? I'm telling you that it's very upsetting that you're going to sit here and that certain organizations in the world are going to try and pretend that I'm the biggest force of evil on earth when I'm genuinely a force for good. I'm genuinely a force for good. And the reason they're doing this is because of the massive influence I have over the youth, and they don't like that I'm telling the youth to think outside of the matrix and ignore things like the BBC, which come here with loaded questions and false narratives and try and paint innocent people as guilty.
You've said women's intimate parts belong to their male partner.
I said that if a woman marries a man, she takes his last name and traditionally the man gives her away. I've been pushing traditional religious beliefs, because I'm a religious man, and traditional beliefs in regards to marriage, which everybody accepted 10 to 15 years ago.
So
that's not a crazy conspiracy theory. If you're going to sit here and say that me believing a woman should take a man's last name in marriage makes me the most dangerous man in the world.
Like guys, he is so upset and so defensive. He doesn't understand that he's looking like an unhinged lunatic throughout this entire thing.
Then you're just going to lose even more credibility than the BBC's already lost in the last 4 to 5 years. If that's your point...
Ooh. Chat, do you think he's going to Joker laugh? Do you think he's going to Joker laugh through this interview at some point? Is he going to do it? I feel like he might. He looks like he's on the verge of doing it right now.
That's your narrative you want to push.
Say that
Good
men
luck.
should be able to sleep with a lot of women outside marriage. That doesn't sound very religious or very conservative.
That's not what I said they should be able to. I said a lot of high-value men, a lot of rich men do it. And then we discussed at length on podcasts why rich men do it. And we also discussed why women decide to be unfaithful. It's not a gendered argument. We discussed unfaithfulness as a whole. What are the reasons and motivations for men, and what are the reasons and motivations for women? Because you have no time to act.
Should we turn this interview into a drinking game? Yes. Also, chat, we've been streaming now for an hour and a half, and I forgot to do the top of the hour ad break. Hello! Are you enjoying the stream? Would you like to make me live longer? I nailed it. I did it. Are you enjoying it? Well, consider coming over to riverboat.gg, which is my streaming site. You can get an ad-free stream over there. You don't have to deal with any ads. And when you subscribe or make donos, it goes directly to me rather than splitting 50-50 with Jeff Bezos over on Twitch or 70-30 over on YouTube. So consider coming on over to riverboat.gg and dropping some donos and subs, because that helps me to live and pay rent and not die. And I need your support, otherwise the show can't exist. I'm very much enjoying the stream today. Yes. I am going to grab an alcohol. KBS, thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. I want my tote bag. Hell yeah. I want my tote bag. You know what? I should design Pride merch. That's what I should do. Like, I don't know, maybe Sunday. Saturday or Sunday. Maybe I'll do a little bit of design work. Get some Riverboat Jack merch going. Okay, I'm gonna go get alcohol. But I do have some mead. Hello. Do a little rainbow capitalism for yourself? I don't know if I'd make a killing. You guys don't buy a ton of merch. Yes. If you feel more comfortable doing weed, go for it. I'll finish this bottle, I'm sure. The honeyest of honey wine. Indeed, KBS. Oh, your boyfriend started making mead as a hobby? That's cool. Enjoying the stream as I get my outfit together for my first Pride Parade tomorrow? Yo, congratulations, for sweater vests. Your son invited you? That's a lot of trust. You know, make sure you take some time to feel good about that, for sweater vests. Not every parent, like, supports their kid that way or makes their kid feel safe enough to invite them, you know? All right. I feel like I should take a plug before we dive back in, just for whatever I missed. What should be the trigger, chat? What's the trigger here? Oh, it's so smooth. Goodness. Programmer Paul!
Chat by Jack Smug. It's great.
Thank you, Programmer Paul. And also, yes, my mug is great, okay? This mug, I have been using it since I made merch in the first place. It's so good. I also have a little Peepo mug that I quite like. And you can also buy art prints that you guys have made for charity over there as well. Matrix. Matrix is a good trigger. Okay, we'll do Matrix. Also, Programmer Paul, thank you so goddamn much for the $50 dono. That is wonderfully generous of you. Thank you for making this show possible. All right, let's go. Every time he says Matrix.
Actually,
You say it's
because you
okay
have no
for
time
men
to
and
actually
it's
watch
not
my
okay
content,
for
because you
women.
have no time to actually watch my content at length and understand what I'm saying, you just come here with a small snippet which has been provided to you on a
Saying it
piece of
3
paper.
times doesn't make it true.
No, completely. You don't have a clue what I say or what I talk about. You never watch my content. You have small
You
pieces
say-
of paper, small clips on a piece of paper, and you're trying to pretend I've said evil things. And then you're going to say I'm the most dangerous man in the world, which is truly laughable.
You said
I have done so many big things, like climbed mountains. And what do you have? A tiny piece of paper. Well, I have big mountains. Mountains beat paper.
that, not me.
Actually,
Okay.
paper beats
Do you
rock.
believe I'm the most
Shut
dangerous
up.
man in the world, Lucy?
I'm not answering your questions.
Well then we need
Hey,
to
gay
change
Aaron.
the dynamic of this interview because, and I'll make this clear, I allowed you into my home. I'm doing you a favor.
But we need to change. You're the participant in the interview, my guy. You can end the interview. You are in control of the dynamic from your end. She doesn't have to engage with you in the way that you want.
Favor giving you the first interview I'm giving to the public.
Yeah, many
You don't come here
people
with
are
a position of
saying-
authority. You're not the police. I don't respect the BBC. I don't know you. You do not come here with a position of authority over me. We are equals. We are people. We're citizens of the world, and we sit here as equals. And I see you as my equal. And if you ask me questions, I can ask you questions back. For you to come here and sit down and pretend you're the Gestapo.
What you're describing is a conversation, not an interview. She's a BBC journalist. She's here to do an interview, not to have a conversation.
And that you don't have to answer my questions is disingenuous
This
because I don't owe you
me
anything.
asking questions and you answer.
But I don't owe, no,
however you want.
this is a conversation.
Have you gotten to the part where Tate claims he donated $25 million a year to feed hungry children? No. No, we have not.
And I don't owe you any degree of authority over me. So let's make that clear. And that doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or from the BBC or the CNN. I'm here to answer your questions and be honest with you and do you a favor.
See, VCC TV, I thought he had a fake accent for a long time too. But I think he just has a fucked up accent from like living in like the US and the UK. I think that's his background.
Great.
And I'm doing you a favor, but you come here with loaded questions, you're trying to paint a narrative of me which is negative.
I'm asking you
And
about
that's
things
fine.
you've said that people are concerned about.
And that's fine.
But it does sound like a fake. It does sound like a bad fake British accent, which is very funny to me.
But you're not going to sit here and say you don't answer my questions because you're not above me.
This is also not supposed to be a third degree, it's supposed to be a conversation.
Absolutely.
Well, it would help if you answered the question.
I've answered every question so far.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
You have said that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner, and if she goes on OnlyFans, he is entitled to a cut of her income.
You are extremely, it's very confusing to me why you're going to sit here, take long format podcasts I've done, which are 3 or 4 hours long, in context where
Oh yeah, bro. She was supposed to quote back the entire 3-hour podcast to you, my guy. Yeah, okay, bud. Okay.
sat with OnlyFans girls, 10 or 15 OnlyFans girls, where
18
we've been
goblins.
joking back and forth, ignore every comment and satirical comment and sarcastic comment that the females have made, and then come along and say, you said this and that.
That's true. That's true, 10-letter name. That's true. Anytime he avoids the question should also be a drink. So Matrix and avoiding questions.
You're the most evil man in the world. I don't know if you understand what sarcasm
Did you
is.
say it?
I don't know if you understand what sarcasm is. I don't know if you understand what context is. I don't know if you understand what satirical
So you're
comments
saying it
are.
was sarcastic?
I'm saying it was a very interesting talk show. And for you to sit here and say that
So you didn't you said it sarcastically. I'm saying my show is just the most watchable thing on the internet, and everyone should watch it. What don't you understand about that?
that is my true core beliefs and that makes me a bad person is disingenuous.
Is it?
Of course not.
Was it sarcasm?
Absolutely. You should watch the show.
You were being sarcastic
You should-
when you said... Let me
you
just
should-
clarify,
you should
okay?
watch the show.
Let me clarify for the audience. You were being sarcastic when you said a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner.
No.
You didn't believe that.
No, it's not that. It's that you haven't watched the show at length, and you should have, because the woman was saying, my man's car belongs to me because he's my man. And she was on OnlyFans. And then 20 minutes later, when she said she was on OnlyFans, I said, well, you're selling your body, that belongs to him because he's your man. And she laughed,
Do you believe it?
she laughed, and she said, ha ha, yeah, that's probably true. If
Do
you
you
watch the
believe it?
show, it will make sense. For you to come here with doing no research at all, and then say, I don't understand what
He's so mad, guys.
I'm talking about, but I've got this piece of paper with a few things printed off. That's why you're saying the silly things you're saying. You should watch the show, do some research.
Do you believe it?
You already answered
I've already answered the question.
Not really.
Of course I have.
I mean, it's really interesting that he keeps saying, like, I don't believe it, but, you know, I don't believe it, but you should have watched the entire show, you dumb cunt. Like, come on. Hey, LB, thank you.
Move on, I've answered the question.
Do you believe that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner?
Of course not. I've just answered the question.
You just answered that. You said exactly that.
We've done that 3 times.
But like, that was her question, like, 5 minutes ago. And instead of just saying, no, of course not, and then moving on to the next question, he, like, bloviated and cried and whined and made accusations. Oh, you didn't watch my show. Like, you could just answer, no, of course not, and then end your answer there. You can do that as someone being interviewed.
And does this woman believe that her man's car belongs to her? It's not a gendered argument. I really think that it's genuinely sad that when the BBC has a chance
You missed about 3, Metal Kitty Mom, I think.
to finally interview me at the end of all this Matrix attack, that they don't come here with
Matrix.
any kind of genuine openness to try and understand my influence over the world, or the things I push, or what I'm trying to teach the world, or why I'm a good influence on the world, because I am a massively good influence. Instead, they come here with
I'm a massively good influence. The best influence, really. Like, if you have your option to introduce your child to Jesus Christ or me, Andrew Tate, you should introduce him to me, Andrew Tate.
pieces of paper with printed out excerpts from 5-year-old podcasts taken out of context to attempt the same Matrix attack on me, which has been attempted endlessly. Every single person in Legacy Media has already tried this, and it doesn't work. I really encourage you.
I don't know, bro. Seems like it kind of works a little bit since you're under house arrest at the moment.
I encourage you to read the comment section.
He also said
on
Matrix
YouTube,
again.
And this goes on YouTube, and you will see that nobody believes a word you're saying.
The
This is
reason we're
garbage.
asking you about these comments is because we've got the chief executive of Rape Crisis naming you individually as spreading a dangerous ideology of misogynistic rape culture.
Absolute
It's the comments you make that are leading people to say things like
Absolute
this.
garbage.
National organisations who are saying that are blaming you for increasing
it's the
levels
Matrix.
of misogyny. Schools that are
It's the
saying they are
Matrix.
having increased
Say it.
incidents of girls being attacked, of female teachers being harassed
If that was
by
true,
pupils
if that
because of you and your teaching
well, that's
and your influence.
that's absolute garbage. I have never ever encouraged a student to attack a teacher, male or female, ever. I preach hard work, discipline. I'm an athlete. I preach anti-drug. I preach religion. I preach no alcohol. I preach no knife crime. Every single problem with modern society, I'm against. I'm teaching young men.
I am against all the bad things and for all the good things.
Young men to be disciplined, to be diligent, to listen, to train, to work hard, to be exactly like me, with no criminal record, never even yet charged in this 14-month Matrix investigation.
Oh,
and I'm saying that if men grew up
Jesus
like
Christ.
me, which are hardworking and diligent and some emotional control and stoic, we're going to have a better society, not a worse society. To sit here and say that schools in England, which is a failing nation, which has knife crime going through the roof, violence going through the roof, men's mental health going through the roof, and they're going to all blame
Men's mental health going through the roof sounds like a good thing, though. I know that's not how he meant it, but it sounds like a good thing.
me because I appeared on the internet
You
1 year
saw an
ago
image of
is
success.
disingenuous. It's disingenuous.
You
And
saw
also,
Yeah, I often tell you guys, don't do knife crimes. It's one of the #1 messages of my show. You remember all of the times I've told you not to do knife crimes. Don't do them. They're bad. Unless you need to do a knife crime in self-defense, in which case they're good.
Image
also,
of financial
it's-
success
correct.
with a Bugatti and a cigar, but it comes with a side order of misogyny.
how does having a
That's not a knife crime. This is a knife crime. I know that's not the right voice, but I'm gonna use that for D&D anyway.
Bugatti and a cigar come with misogyny?
Because it's all mixed together in what you teach. You teach that if a woman comes home and accuses you of cheating, you should hit her with a machete, shove her up.
Is that what I teach?
That's what you say.
No, if you actually watch the clip,
you've got
it will
the
be about the
Bugatti.
woman attacking me with a machete. As usual, you've not watched the video, taken it out of context, flipped it, and attempted to attack me with a small excerpt. Let me tell you something, Lucy. I'm sure you're a very nice person. I'm sure you're a fantastic person. But if I were to take everything you've ever said online and just take small excerpts out of context, I could make you look like a misogynist. I guarantee it. In fact, I might actually do that.
Oh shit, my guy. Are you? I was really hoping he was gonna try and do a gotcha. Like, in fact, I did it right here. And like, he pulls up an article.
And then you're going to sit here and say, oh shit, I'm a misogynist because my clips have been taken out of context. If you refuse to watch anything at length and understand it, then that's what's going to happen.
The National Police Chiefs League for Violence Against Women, the NSPCC, Rape Crisis, Safer Schools, they are all naming you as being behind an epidemic of misogyny, even amongst
Matrix.
primary school children.
It's gonna happen.
The idea that I made primary school children misogynistic because I own a nice car. Is that your argument?
It's not because you own a nice car. It's because you have a show that's watched predominantly by children.
Misogyny that comes along with it.
Oh, owning a nice car is misogynist.
No, it's the
Got it.
misogyny that comes along with it.
How does misogyny come
Oh God, Lucy, why?
along with owning a nice car?
because you have an image of financial
I'm glad you're
success.
answering my questions now. We finally got the dynamic.
You have
right.
an image of financial
She's answering my
success.
questions as she should.
Excuse me. You have an image of financial
She's answering my questions as she should. Yo, fuck off, dude.
success, but it comes along with attitudes towards women that are really problematic.
My attitudes towards women is that women should be protected and provided for, and I've said that at length. In fact, I've said that over 50 times online, you never mention it. I say that my girlfriend doesn't have to work unless she wants to, I take care of her, I die to protect a woman. I've talked about how I've stood up and faced a knife to protect a woman.
And in return, you want authority over her in the way you have over a child or a dog.
Absolutely not. I've said that women should be protected and provided for. And
in return, you want authority over her, because if you have responsibility for someone like a child or a dog, you say, you have authority over them.
If you want to go down this argument, we'll go down this nuanced argument. I said that if I have responsibility for her safety, I should have a degree of authority over her safety. Meaning, and let me explain my point. If I'm the one who has to fight and die to protect her, I'm the one who decides how we walk home. I'm the one who decides the route we take. Because it's unfair for her to say, I want to walk through the most dangerous neighborhood in the world, but you have to face the knives. That's what I've said. And then you're going to sit here and pretend that I'm trying to...
What? No woman says that. What are you talking about, dude? No woman's like, hey, we can walk through this dangerous neighborhood, but you know, if we get attacked, you know, it's all on you. Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
We treat women like dogs, which is garbage. Every single man in the world who loves his woman understands that he has to protect her. And every single woman in the world likes the idea of a man who would protect her. If you were to say to most women home right now, do you want your husband to protect you in a violent attack? They'd say, yeah, of course. Nothing I've said is misogynistic.
Yeah, if you asked anybody if you would like someone to protect you during a violent attack, they would say yes. That isn't limited to just women. That's just basic survival instinct. What are you talking about, bud? What happened to you in that jail?
To most women, would you want to lose authority in the relationship, to not be treated as a free and...
Like, I guarantee if you ask men, like, hey, would you want your girlfriend, would you want your wife to like help you during a violent attack? They're all gonna say yes too, you moron.
Legal equal to your...
I didn't say that. I said I need to have authority over the route we walk home.
When you compare women and the authority over women that you believe you should have to having authority over a child or a dog, it's not the same, because a woman is a free, legal adult.
Correct.
You're equal.
Free, legal adult, my equal. But if I had a girlfriend and we were walking home late at night, and I said, let's not walk down that area, it's a bad area, I have to protect you if anything happens, I want to take the long way. And she said, no, I have to walk this way, even though it's the most dangerous route, I must.
Then what?
And then I would say, you're welcome to, you could do it, you're a free and legal equal, but I'm not going to walk with you and protect you. I think that I should be able to decide the route, because I have an obligation. And my obligation as a man is to protect and provide for females. Everything I'm talking about is traditional gender roles, which 10 years ago, less than 10 years ago, would not be considered.
Back in my day, men knew how to be men, women knew how to be women. Now it's 2023, and some of the men, they look like women. Some of the women, they look like men. I just want to fuck all of them.
Considered outlandish, would not be considered crazy, would not be considered dangerous or misogynistic. The world has changed, and a lot of people haven't changed with the world. Please understand there's a lot of women at home watching this right now who like the idea of their man sticking up for them, protecting them, and providing for them. And just because the world has gone crazy and the legacy media has gone crazy, most people at home are still relatively sane. And these are the people who are going to write on the comments that Andrew isn't saying anything that's outlandish. It's the whole world believes these things.
Wait, what? Wait, the second most upvoted comment on this: as a grandmother of 5 girls, coming from a family of strong men who provide for their families, I'm so happy to see this strong, disciplined man speak up about the false narrative portrayed against him. He was accused falsely to shut him up, plain and simple. What grandmother to 5 is watching Andrew Tate videos? How do you have that broken of a brain? The end where the women didn't even have the manners to say thank you and shake his hand after being invited to his home shows you the nature of this vile, poisonous woman whose purpose in life is to obey her masters and spread mischief and corruption on earth. Emotionally unstable as she was, not able to separate business from her personal feelings. She has a "no, I hate you" childish immaturity. It also oh my god, we have a multi-part comment. It also shows the nature of Andrew as well. Good character, friendly, courteous, and very, very patient. Strong emotional stability, able to separate business and personal relations. He understands that it's her job, but he still tries to reach out to her humane side. I believe the women partly refuse to be friendly to Andrew is because she's trying very hard to believe he's a bad person. But I think she was surprised by his character and how loyal his team around him is to him. She knows that if she doesn't keep all her doors closed, his good spirit will open up her black heart and bring her into the light. She will then have to question her beliefs and reality she lives in. She would rather continue her slimy, low-life journalist ways that she knows well than embrace a living more a purposeful path. Why? Because that requires real effort, building integrity, good morals and values, and facing real adversity. It reminds me of a great quote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our dark, that most frightens us. Living up to your real potential, you can't do that as a coward. I have great respect for Andrew, as he's literally the first person in recent times to stand up to the corruption being spread by the evil people in the world, to say, no, that's wrong. What you're doing, idiots, it's haram. He let people know it's okay to not accept these sick, horrible agendas. We don't have to be accepting if we believe it's wrong. We can stand by our principles, and if you don't like that, tough. Take it somewhere else, weirdo. He started making positive values mainstream again. Hard work, commitment, discipline, strong faith in Allah/God, accountability. Jesus Christ, these people are broken. They, like that's the kind of comment. That's the kind of comment that would come from, like, a guy who, if, like, he fell out of the Andrew Tate cult, would just immediately fall back into another cult. You know, like just one of those people who just bounces around from cult to cult until they finally drink the Kool-Aid, you know? And yeah, also, of course, all of these people are transphobic and homophobic. Like, that's their main deal. They just hate queer people so much. They can't do anything else with their lives. Was this written for a bad anime dub? No, but I'd be happy to voice act his entire character.
I told you. Same as fine. I told you. They come in, they smile, they shake their hands, and then they read one talking line excerpts from Black Hole. It's fine. It's fine.
It goes like that.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm having a nice conversation with Lucy. I'm enjoying it. So it's no problem. It's been fun so far.
It's been fun so far, says man who's just had like a trembling voice the entire time.
It's fine. We good?
Yes.
Tell me when.
Do you want to clap again?
Yes, no. We didn't stop, no?
I can do the clap. Now we good?
No.
Thank you.
If a man broke into your house, wouldn't you want your husband to protect you?
There's a difference between conservative values and emotional control, coercive control.
We're
lack
talking
of
about
consent.
protection now, and I'm saying if someone broke into your house, would you want your husband to protect you?
It's not about conservative values or protection, it's what you're demanding in return for that.
Well, I'll give you this. I don't know who your husband is. I don't know if he would stand up to protect you and die for you, but I'll give you this. If someone broke into this house right now and was a homicidal maniac, I would expect me and the other men in this room to stand up and face them while you and the other women in this room could protect yourselves. I would actually believe the men should go and engage the attacker. I believe that. And even though I don't know you, and you've come into my house with a hostile agenda, and you've come here to try and make me look bad, I would still stand up to protect you. I would still stand up to protect you because I believe that's my role as a man.
I am asking you about things that you have said that have caused major national organizations, including the police, to worry about you by name. That's what I'm asking you
It's
about.
not what I say.
It's not about whether you protect your partner or not. It's about what you have
Jesus.
said that has caused such concern in the UK. And I want to put it to you that you don't really care about the harm it causes.
That's not true.
Causes because
That's not true.
making controversial statements like this online has made you a lot of money.
Okay, so first thing, I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the instruction of God to do good things. And I want
Yes, you can hear God, you say. Surely nothing has ever come negatively out of a man claiming to be acting under the orders of God himself. Yeah. Nothing bad here.
I want to make the world a better place. I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy. And I believe that eventually, when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good, positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money. Because if I was interested in damaging the world
Hey,
for money, I could have
Airbnb
sold
abortion,
drugs.
haven't
or
seen
I
you
could
in a
make
while.
rap music and encourage everyone to stab each other like all the drill artists do.
Or you can make controversial statements online that attract a lot of followers who you then direct to your website.
I could
True. This interview is just one long, like, smug crying Wojak. Just one long that.
Where they pay
I could make
to
jokes.
learn how to be
Sure.
like
I
you.
mean, I could make jokes online. Who doesn't? I mean, I could make a
Are
joke
you
online.
saying that all the controversial things you've said are jokes?
No, I'm saying that these organizations and the BBC who are going to sit here and pretend that I am the face of damaging the youth is absolutely garbage. It's completely disingenuous.
It makes you
And the
money.
reason
I'm sorry, we have agreed to do an interview where you are going to ask questions that are going to give us the opportunity to clarify some things. These are very loaded questions.
sorry.
And so far, I'm sorry, I have a rage list and I'm talking right now. So, these are very loaded questions, and this is not what we discussed, and this is not the conversation that we agreed
We were
to.
very
You're
clear that the
sitting
questions
there,
are
you're sitting there and just accusing, we're not here to face new allegations, this has all been discussed, answers have been provided, so if we could please move on from this side of the interview, I would appreciate it.
I would like to hear what Andrew's got to say about the fact that when you make controversial statements, it attracts people to follow you.
Also, props to this interviewer because, man, she went into the most hostile, like, interview environment. You know, like he has his entire team there. She probably has, like, herself and, like, a camera guy.
And then you direct
Maybe a
them to your
producer.
website where they pay you a monthly fee to learn how to be like you. And so the more controversial statements you make, the more money you get.
the fact that that's the path you've outlined to one, my online university, and two, my presence on the internet. The fact that you believe that's the path just shows you've done absolutely zero research. Genuinely zero research.
Okay, so how many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media?
Genuinely zero research.
How
And
many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media where you direct them to the website?
And Lucy, I encourage you to go out there, do some genuine research, watch my
Could you
videos,
answer my
of
question?
course, watch my videos at length, and truly understand what I'm doing.
How many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University at $49.99 a month come to you?
Holy shit, they're paying him $50 a month? For education? That's insane.
Because they see your social media comments.
There's an online school called
And
Hustlers University, which I don't own. I influence for, along with many other influencers, and they sign up for.
He has no affiliation whatsoever with Hustlers University. Uh-huh.
A website which I don't own. And once
You
again,
direct them towards
once again, that's nothing to do with me. And you're going to sit here and say that I made a joke.
You were the
I made a
figurehead.
joke online 4 years ago because a woman said that she owned her man's car, and you made a joke, and that means that you, because you have a Bugatti, are the most misogynistic, dangerous man in the world. This is going down a path of absolute insanity. It's not true. None of this is true. I don't hurt people. I don't harm people. I'm genuinely a positive
You are
influence.
renowned
I'm renowned.
for offensive and controversial
That's not why I'm renowned.
comments
I'm
about
actually
gay
renowned.
relations.
I'm actually renowned for helping young men, because we talk about there's a men's mental health crisis, and we talk about we pretend to care that men are upset. But as soon as I discuss men's issues, it's misogynistic. It doesn't have to be gendered. Just because I believe men have a point of view and men have rights and men are allowed to think and believe and act a certain way that helps them internally, that doesn't mean it's anti-female. In fact, I believe.
Huh. It's so strange. When you Google who owns Hustlers University, Google says Andrew Tate. That's so weird.
It's actually pro-female. I think when a man is true to his influence and true to his essence and he's good within himself, he's a positive influence in the world, and he's positive for the women around him.
So
Just
why
because
are
I
so
discuss
many
men's
women-
issues, people say, oh, you're anti-woman. I'm not anti-woman, I love women.
Why are so many women saying that when their boyfriends start following you,
They're not.
they experience more control?
So many.
They experience
How many?
more abuse?
How many?
Enough.
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 Well, that's the first time I've heard of it. So, in fact...
One is too many.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Say it. We know you want to accuse the Matrix again. Do it.
So, in fact, I've seen thousands and thousands of comments, and I've...
Oh, true, ponies ahoy. It's true. I did use Google, an instrument of the Matrix itself. My bad. I'm sorry.
endless emails from women praising
Doesn't
the
it
fact
worry you?
praising the fact that their sons are listening to me,
Does it not
praising
worry
the
you?
fact that their
The
husbands
things
are
I'm
listening to me.
saying, does it not worry you?
It would worry. It would
You're
worry.
not concerned about
It
your
would.
influence.
It would worry me if I was genuinely damaging the world. But for you to sit here and say, Andrew, you've become the most Googled man in the world. You have billions of views, and one woman, is now saying that her husband is
I'm
not the
not
same man she
presenting
wants him
to
to
you.
be. When thousands and thousands of people are saying the opposite, well, then I would say
I've
that that's.
presented you with case after case after case, with quote after quote after quote of people who are genuinely concerned about the impact you're having, and you brush it off as if it's nothing.
No, what you have done is come here with an agenda. You've come here with loaded questions. You've come here with things taken out of context. You come here with things that you don't understand. It's
But by the way, Andrew Tate and his team approved the questions before she came.
rhetorical. And then you're going to also sit and say that one woman said that her boyfriend changed when he watched one of your videos. And then I don't know what you expect me to say to that. That's
sarcastic and jokes.
No.
That's how you explain
no,
the comments you
no.
make.
For you to sit down.
Would you
and
like to apologise for any of them?
for you to sit down and for you to sit down. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's easy. For you to sit down and say that one woman said that her boyfriend.
I mean, I don't think that Andrew Tate is a conspiracy theorist, per se. I mean, I'd have to give it to Alex Jones, because Marjorie Taylor Greene just takes all of her conspiracies from Alex Jones. But, yeah.
Watched an Andrew Tate video and now he won't do the dishes or whatever your argument is, and that I'm somehow the worst, most dangerous man in the world because I have a car. It's just disingenuous, and I'm enjoying this interview very much because this shows the world. It's great. It shows the world the truth about the legacy media because they beg me for interviews. They beg me. You have been begging me for months. Please, we need to be relevant. And then you come here with loaded questions trying to paint a picture of me, which is completely and utterly false. I am a good, positive influence for the world. The things I teach men are stoicism, discipline, self-respect, hard work, obeying authority, listening
Man, the best part about this is none of it is going to go over well in court.
to your fight coach, working hard in school, making as much money as possible in your job. If you actually watch the things I say, if you actually watch my comments about women, I've done long podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe a woman should be treated in a relationship. I've done all of this, but you don't watch any of it, and then you come here and ask me to answer questions I've answered at length thousands of times.
Since you came out of custody,
Dude cannot answer a question straight. He's so goddamn scared, dude.
there seems to have been a lot about your charity work.
Correct.
On your social
There's
media.
I've always done the charity work, but now I'm promoting it.
There seems to be a real shift.
Yeah.
I wonder what's behind that.
Well, I've always done the charity work. I've been doing the charity work for years. I believe that it's my legacy to leave a positive influence on the world, and I've been doing charity work for over 5 years. Post my incarceration, my unfair, unjust incarceration, may I add. Post that, I've made it more clear the charity work I'm doing. But this is, once again, very interesting. I spend $25 million a year feeding children. Men, male children, and female children. In Turkey, in Syria, in Iran, and Iraq, I literally spend $25 million a year feeding children. And I'm still the worst man in the world because 4 years ago I made a sarcastic comment?
Because some people would look at that and say, okay, so before you got money from attracting people to your website by making controversial comments, but that might have got you into trouble. And so now you're looking for a new market.
Now, he does claim that he gave $25 million to feed starving people every year. I can believe it. I can believe it. Like, his net worth is somewhere between 355 to 700 million. So, yeah, I'm guessing he has the ability to actually do that, which is insane. I saw somebody ask how old he is. He's 36 years old.
Looking for a new market of followers who are attracted by a different sort of persona.
I've always done the charity work, so that is obviously incorrect. And I have proof that I've always done the charity work. So You're wrong, firstly. I believe that if you have a lot of wealth, you should help people, and I'm helping people. I also think it's very, very interesting that you could not find another celebrity in the UK or anywhere else who's spending £25 million a year feeding children in war-torn countries. I'm doing that, and I've been doing that for a long time without even mentioning.
I severely doubt that there aren't other celebrities who also give millions of dollars to feed children.
I never even said it. And now that I've said it, people are going to attack me for it and say that it's disingenuous. The person in...
I mean, it does come across as incredibly disingenuous when you are offering that information to defend your reputation, as opposed to talking about it to bring more attention to it, to get more help for the kids. Because you're not bringing it up here to talk about the kids who need food to survive. You're bringing it up here specifically to make yourself look better.
Sudan, who's eating the meal, do you think they believe it's disingenuous? No, I think they feel pretty good that Andrew Tate fed them. And to sit here and say that I'm a bad person now because I'm manipulating charity, because I'm using charity, I'm just trying to do good in the world. That's all I've ever been trying to do.
When women speak out against you online, disagree with what you say, they describe being bombarded with rape threats, with death threats, trolling by your followers. Would you like to say anything to your followers about how to behave in that situation?
Absolutely, correct. I would love to do that. First things first, I've yet to see a female stand up and argue with me online. I don't ever see hardly any. Although only women who message me agree with it. Secondly...
Wow. That's crazy. Only the women who message you agree with you? That's crazy.
I don't think that anybody who disagrees with me, male or female, should be trolled. I don't think they should be insulted or attacked. I think the ideas should be discussed openly and fairly and maturely. It doesn't matter if a man agrees with me or disagrees with me, or a female. I don't think my followers should come along and attack her, and if my followers are doing that, I'm upset by that. But, let's make a very important clarification. That's not my followers. That's the internet. If you're
She's so done with his shit.
log into any video game lobby, I don't play video games, and someone were to sit there and say something stupid, they would be trolled with similar comments. That's the unfortunate reality of the internet as a whole.
What? If you don't play video games, why was that your go-to analogy, Brad?
That's nothing to do with me. But I encourage all of my followers to engage in open discourse and be fair and honest and talk in a way which is mature. There's no need to troll anybody, male or female.
Okay.
Kathy, anything?
A couple things. I wonder if it'd be worth...
Look, he's the nervous leg bouncing. Like, dude, this guy has media coaching. He knows not to do that. He's doing it because he can't help himself, because he's nervous as fuck right now.
Giving Andrew one more opportunity to consider whether or not he would like to apologise or give an indication of how he feels about the allegations that he has negatively influenced young people in the UK. And secondly, I think we should put on record that this interview is taking place in your house because you're under house arrest. If it were not for that, then we would have chosen another location, I'm sure. We would have negotiated that between us. So I think that's just worth putting on record.
Okay. So, just to put on the record then, you've said that you've invited us into your house.
Correct.
We're here because you're under house arrest.
Correct.
If you were free to leave, we would have negotiated a more neutral setting.
Don't you think, as the BBC, it would be very interesting to come here and discuss the fact that I was put in a dungeon for 92 days and then locked in house arrest without charge? Don't you think that's a far more interesting conversation than old YouTube snippets? Don't you think?
He has been charged. Like that's the thing. He keeps saying he was held without charges. He was charged. Like, he's already been charged. They held him longer because they believed he might be a flight risk. They locked him down into house arrest. Now he's there until his trial. Like, that's not a news story. That's how the legal system works.
Think that would be interesting?
You're here under house arrest because there's an ongoing investigation into rape and human trafficking allegations against you.
Correct. I've been incarcerated without charge. And don't you think
the rape allegation
it's been dropped?
Has been incarcerated for.
Correct. So I'm incarcerated without charge, and I think that would be a far more interesting conversation. Then I guess Julian Assange is incarcerated without charge, and nobody's interested in that either. So if you actually wanted to do some genuine journalism and investigation, you could talk about the fact that an innocent man who has yet to be charged with a crime has had his liberty deprived of him. And I think that would be a far more interesting angle than talking about me being the most dangerous man in the world because I own a car.
Just FYI. Let's see. They are under house arrest along with Andrew Tate and his brother, along with 2 Romanian female suspects, are under house arrest pending a criminal investigation for suspected human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women. Let's see. This is back in April. Romania DICOT Anti-Organized Crime Prosecuting Unit notified Tristan Tate that an additional charge of inciting others to violence was added to his name. Let's see. So, yeah, no, they've been charged. And they were charged a while ago. So, yeah. They're also apparently investigating the brothers for accusations of money laundering. They haven't brought those charges yet, but there are charges against them. Just the one rape accusation that they keep talking about isn't being charged by the Romanian government. Yet, anyway. One of the women is a cop who apparently was keeping the police off of them. Damn.
And this question about schools being very worried about your influence.
Yes.
Boys in primary school, or boys as young as 11 are quoting you at school, attacking girls, refusing to respect female teachers.
Yeah.
Would you like to say anything about that?
I'd like to say a lot. First things first, as I've repeatedly said, and the only reason I keep repeating it is because I'm sure this...
Wait, why is Andrew Tate still not in jail? Because he's rich.
Interview will be edited. I am a positive force for the world, and I teach children discipline. I teach the world discipline, male or female, of any age. And a lot of women listen to me as well. 40% of the people who listen to me are actually female. Secondly...
I doubt those statistics so hard.
I do understand with my massive influence, and I am now the one of the most influential people on the planet, that I do have to be slightly more careful with things I say. I'm not going to disagree with that. The idea that I said something 5 years ago on a video that got 300 views...
So what do you mean, being slightly more careful?
I'll give you an example. Some of the jokes I made 4 or 5 years ago on a YouTube channel that got 300 views, I would no longer make...
Like what?
Like the OnlyFans joke, the one you mentioned repeatedly. When she said, my man's car is my car. And then she said she did OnlyFans. And I said, what do you saw on OnlyFans? She said, my tits. And I said, well, those are your man's tits. As a joke, ha ha ha, everybody laughed. The fact that I could do that on a podcast 5 years ago and it only got 300 views, now I understand I'm the most influential man on the face of the planet. I would be more careful with certain things I say. That doesn't mean the things I originally said were genuinely out to harm people.
Do you really believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled person on the planet.
Do you believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled man on the planet.
I think we're done.
Yep.
Look at him, just banging his knee away. He's so fucking nervous, guys. He's so fucking nervous. Was that avoiding the question? Yes.
Thanks, Lucy. It was enjoyable.
Oh no,
Nice
he
to meet
absolutely
you.
thinks he won. He thinks he won. He has the shit-eating grin on his face. His team, I'm sure, is around him, like, giving him support as well. You're welcome, 10-letter name.
No, it was fun. It was good. I enjoyed it. De-mic me. I don't want to damage anything. Thank you. Very nice to meet you. Lucy. Thank you. Very nice to meet you. Goodbye.
She wouldn't shake his hand. Oh my god. Good for her. No, I think he knows he fucked up because of how much he's shaking and bouncing his legs. I think in the moment he thinks he's doing well. But very clearly, he's gonna reflect on this like 10 minutes later and be like, fuck. Fuck! I look guilty as shit. It's okay, 10-letter name. Dude doesn't want Alex Jones moment. True. 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 How we doing today, folks? How we doing? How you feeling after that? Also, the Mana King, you hang out in YouTube chat. You are a monarch, you do as you please. You feeling icky? Seriously doubt he was the self-awareness to figure out how guilty that made him look? I don't know. I go back and forth on it. I think he thinks he's smart. I think he'll eventually figure out that, he's not a smart man. Yeah. Feeling surprisingly good after watching that? Why? Because that woman just absolutely wiped the floor with him? You're high and you have a kitty next to you? But fuck Andrew Tate? All excellent things. That's exactly why. Indeed. Indeed. I doubt he's going to reflect on this. He doesn't seem like the self-reflection kind of guy. I mean, I think people who even... I think even people who don't seem like they're into self-reflection will, like, think back on the thing they just did, you know? And he's in such deep shit, I have to imagine he's been forced to do a lot of it recently. Also, chat, hey, Spicy Tricks, Chelsea is okay. Thank you both for hitting the follow button over on Twitch. I really, really appreciate it. And, folks, if you're watching over on YouTube or over on riverboat.gg, make sure you give a like to the stream and hit the subscribe button over there if you haven't yet. And also, hey, top of the hour ad break. If you've been enjoying the show, please consider throwing a dono or some subs my way. If you throw the subs over on riverboat.gg, I don't have to split it with YouTube or Twitch. So it's the same amount for sub over on riverboat.gg. No ads over there either if you don't want to put up with ads. What's this Star Trek goal? Airbnb abortion. I'm glad you asked. Well, fun fact for you guys. For some reason, Paramount Plus has uploaded every single episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds to YouTube. And I figured we would roll the dice with the DMCA gods and see if we can stream it. I'm gonna guess that YouTube is not gonna be okay with that, but Twitch might. Catalina Gearbox, thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Hugs to you as well. Thank you for not being homophobic this Pride Month. I appreciate it. Same to you, Programmer Paul, and same to you, KBS. 3 very non-homophobic, non-transphobic chatters. I've, like, never seen Star Trek. I'm here for it. I love Star Trek. I just haven't seen any of the new stuff. I've seen, like, everything up to and including Enterprise. So, like, 4 different TV series. True. Don't forget your top of the hour government Indeed. Thank you for the reminder. Chelsea is okay. You know, I was surprised. You know, I drank about half of what was left in here, but I'm surprised there wasn't more. I thought there was going to be a lot more Matrix talk. Deep Space Nine is really goated. I haven't seen any of the Star Trek Strange New Worlds, but I've heard it's a lot more like Enterprise, which or not Enterprise, Next Generation, which I love Next Generation. I love Deep Space Nine. If this can recapture some of that magic, I'm hooked. Hell, if I like season 1 of Strange New Worlds, I'll subscribe to Paramount Plus for season 2. TNG is one of the best television shows to ever air. True. Like, I don't know. What other television show has, like, an android who likes to play video games accidentally, like, destroying the ship computer because they ask the ship to make a worthy foe for the android, and the ship, like, just creates Moriarty, but, like, a sentient Moriarty who lives in a video game, and that sentient Moriarty decides to try and take over the ship and become a real person. It's so good. It's so good. Paramount has the Picard series too. I don't know if I'll like the Picard series. Feels a bit forced, if I'm being 100% honest with you. And I absolutely goddamn despise that the Picard series is for some reason located within the universe of the newer Star Trek films. I hate it. I hate that universe so goddamn much. Like, when I watch it, it feels like I'm watching, like, an episode where they go into the mirror dimension, but that's the entire show. Lower Decks? Lower Decks has been a great time. Lower Decks looked really fun. The third season of Picard was good. Wait, it's set after the events of Nemesis? I thought it was set after the events of it, like, Into Darkness and wait, is that true? Wait, what? Because I thought a major plot component of, like, the first season of Picard was that Romulus' sun exploded. No? I thought his entire life was different. Picard is set in the prime... Wait, this is blowing my mind. That is Prime Timeline. Romulus has been destroyed in Prime Timeline. How did Romulus get destroyed in Prime Timeline? What the fuck? Wait, now we need to do a deep dive into Star Trek lore. Okay. Okay. Wait, here we go. So, the 2009 Star Trek depicted the Romulan homeworld Romulus being destroyed by a supernova in the year 2387. This film featured Romulans without head ridges. The impact of Romulus's destruction forms a plot theme in the series Star Trek Picard. Romulans in that series have included... Okay, I don't care about the head ridges. It's... Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay. Wait. Okay, we're gonna take a look at this. I'm sorry. I'm derailing all of this. Prime Timeline. Okay. So you got Star Trek Enterprise. Then you got Star Trek Discovery. Then you got Star Trek, Star Trek Animated Series, Star Trek Movies, Star Trek Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Picard? Okay, so the Kelvin timeline... What the fuck? Okay. So in the Kelvin timeline, that's when Spock travels back in time and creates a new universe. Okay. Then we have Star Trek Beyond. Okay. Was Star Trek Beyond? Yeah, Star Trek Beyond was the last one. Damn. I actually liked Star Trek Beyond a lot. Okay. So I was under the assumption that Romulus's sun exploded far in the future of the like far in the future of the Prime timeline. Like a couple hundred years later. Okay. Interesting. Hey everyone, what's with the Star Trek stuff? The Prime timeline thinks Spock is dead because him going back created a separate timeline. Yeah. So, yeah, that would make sense. Okay, wait. Do the deep dive as part of the sub goal? No, I need to understand. I only watched the first season of the original Star Trek, but I do plan to get into the rest sometime. Yo, original Star Trek is goofy. It's like a goofy fun time.
I was a chud, then I got a degree. Learning is the enemy of right-wing mania.
Airbnb, I'm glad you've learned and grown, you know? That's the good shit. That's that good shit. And it's really the only thing any of us can ever do, you know? Thanks for making it over to the riverboat.gg site. Okay. The split in the timeline is in the Prime timeline. Spock failed to prevent the sun going supernova, which is why he time traveled and created the Kelvin timeline. Gotcha. Romulus. Wait, did Romulus explode during Next Generation? Or in Star Trek Nemesis? No? Okay, maybe this is why I'm so confused. 2387? Okay, so like right after Voyager. And like 6 years after Star Trek Nemesis? Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Nemesis is in 2379, and then 6 years later, Romulus' sun blows up. Okay. Man, you'd think the Romulans would be putting in a little bit more effort to stop their sun exploding, versus like all of the crazy like shenanigans they get up to. This will explain it. Nerd! True. I feel called out. Next year is Ireland reunification. Is that up for vote? And Star Trek Online started in 2409. Thanks, Kyryu. Doing my best. Chat, how much makeup do you think I have on right now? Oh, damn. Airbnb abortion. I hope Ireland reunifies next year. That'd be cool. True, Lady Raincloud. I don't know, but you look nice. Thank you, Avalon of Babylon. How you doing? They're horrible. And they're gay. True. Lily loves stuff. Very perceptive.
Kisses.
Kisses to you too, Catalina Gearbox. Thank you for the $5 dono. And yeah, I just have some shine strategically placed. Nothing above the brows, and some eyeliner and mascara. Good eye. The death of Romulus was only mentioned for the first time in the new Star Trek movie in 2009. Okay. So my understanding was that Picard was set in the Kelvin timeline. I thought it was set in the Kelvin timeline, like fast forwarding through like all of the events, and then Romulus's sun exploded. But I guess that didn't happen. Okay, well, now I need to reevaluate whether or not I'll watch Picard, because the main reason I wasn't watching it was because I fucking hate the Star Trek Kelvin universe. The only good movie that came out of that was Star Trek Beyond. And chat, at some point, I will do a Twitch stream where we have a watch party and we watch through Star Trek Into Darkness, and I complain about it the entire time. I'll like make you guys a commentary track. Only those 3 movies are in the Kelvin timeline? Gotcha. I'll make you guys a fucking commentary track for how much I despise Star Trek Into Darkness. It makes me so mad. The writers of that film are like my least favorite Hollywood script doctors. Can we do one where I bitch about Discovery? Sure. I haven't watched any of Discovery. Let's Trek Into Darkness. Yeah, well, that you know what? That'll be the name. That'll be the name of the commentary track. Trek Into Darkness. Was that the 3rd of the reboot? No, the 3rd of the reboot was Star Trek Beyond, which at the very least was fun to watch, as opposed to Star Trek Into Darkness, which was miserable and had Benedict Cumberbatch. Okay. I need to pee, and then I will be back, and we will continue doing this show. BRB!
Escucha bien, oye lo que me pasó.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anoche salí a Cacarico y tuve un descontrol. Le di toda la noche a lo trago y sin querer come demasiado. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre. Tráeme una botella de soda grande que me están esperando la prieta en Gerudo Valley. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre. Y tráeme una botella de soda grande que me están esperando la prieta en Gerudo Valley.
Oye, escúchame bien. Este ganón el que te habla. El más tiguerazo de Gerudo Valley.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anoche salí a Cacarico y tuve un descontrol. Le di toda la noche a lo trago y sin querer come demasiado. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre. Tráeme una botella de soda grande que me están esperando la prieta en Gerudo Valley. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre. Y tráeme una botella de soda grande que me están esperando la prieta en Gerudo Valley.
Oye, escúchame bien. Este ganón el que te habla. El más tiguerazo de Gerudo Valley. Mamá huevazo.
Yeah, wow, wow, wow.
Escucha bien. Oye lo que me pasó.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anoche salí a Cacarico y tuve un descontrol. Le di toda la noche a lo trago y sin querer come demasiado. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre. Tráeme una botella de soda grande que me están esperando la prieta en Gerudo Valley. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre. Y tráeme una botella de soda grande que me están esperando la prieta en Gerudo Valley.
Oye, escúchame bien. Este ganón el que te habla. El más tiguerazo de Gerudo Valley.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anoche salí a Cacarico y tuve un descontrol. Le di toda la noche a lo trago y sin querer come demasiado. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre. Tráeme una botella de soda grande que me están esperando la prieta en Gerudo Valley. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre. Y tráeme una botella de soda grande que me están esperando la prieta en Gerudo Valley.
Oye, escúchame bien. Este ganón el que te habla. El más tiguerazo de Gerudo Valley. Mamá huevazo.
Yeah, wow, wow, wow.
Escucha bien. Oye lo que me pasó.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anoche salí a Cacarico y tuve un descontrol. Le di toda la noche a lo trago y sin querer tomé demasiado. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre. Tráeme una botella de soda grande que me están esperando la prieta en Gerudo Valley. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre. Y tráeme una botella de soda grande que me están esperando la prieta en Gerudo Valley.
Oye, escúchame bien. Este ganón el que te habla. El más tiguerazo de Gerudo Valley.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anoche salí a Cacarico y tuve un descontrol. Le di toda la noche a lo trago y sin querer tomé demasiado. Dale, Zelda, dale, pásame la trifuerza que tengo hambre.
Hello. Hi. Hey, everybody. Here, I gotta take off my shoes. I don't know why I do this to myself. Why am I wearing heels while I stream? Why am I doing that? Genuinely no idea. Oof. They're very strategically placed rainbow hearts, Kyryu. Because you have a fetish? No, I don't think that's it. VCC TV, I think that's it, because heels are fun. True. Does it give you confidence? I think so. I think knowing that I have the best shoes in the room helps. You know? It just helps. You've had 2 more edibles since you've been away? Yo! Metal Kitty Mom. Hell yeah. I just really love shoes. They make me feel really, powerful. They bring out my Dami mommy. Dark Prophet. Dark Phoenix. Last time I watched Into Darkness, I had a Nerf gun so I could shoot the screen when I was especially angry. That's a very, very good idea. I like that idea. Dopamine training studies have shown that wearing shoes indoors can make you more productive? We'll go with that, I guess. I love when boots are pretty and comfy. That's how I feel about my thigh-high boots, Metal Kitty Mom. I have really comfortable thigh-high boots that make me look like such a hot bitch, and I love wearing them while I do work, because they're really fun. Is this an accurate portrayal of women in shoes? Yes. Yes. I will get DMCA'd if I play this, but yes. Also, it's a shame that the IT crowd was written by just a horrible piece of shit. All right. Well. Let's see. Ah, yes, we were going to talk about this. Hey, chat. Do you want to see, like, the hottest thing Magic the Gathering has ever done? Wait, what did the IT crowd writer do? The guy, Graham Linehan, who's, like, famous for being, like, the guy who ruined his entire life so he could hate trans people more effectively. He was, like, one of the lead writers on it. I have not heard the parody song Fuck the Moon. Look at this, chat. Magic the Gathering unveiled its Lord of the Rings collection of cards. God damn. This is a cool design for Aragorn. Like, just straight up. King shit. Aragorn, baby!
At last.
Oh god, that's 22 minutes long. We're not gonna watch that. Literal king shit. Like, I love the design. He looks great. I love the hair. I love the way the beard and the facial hair work together. I love the design of his sword here, the flowing cape. It's got a lot of things going for it, you know? And meanwhile, you got chucklefucks like Sargon of Akkad over here, being like, well, you see, if Aragorn is black, that will destroy all of Western civilization. Like awesome design here. Then you got fucking Sargon of Akkad over here. The problem, Mr. Livet, is that there's no such thing as Black Aragorn. Tolkien describes Aragorn as having pale skin, long hair, and green eyes. This character does not match that description, and is transparently a skin suit for your wacky leftist ideology. We won't have it. Aragorn is a mythical character. If this doesn't exist to you, then you don't need him represented as something he's not. If he does exist, then he should be represented as he is. He isn't a product on an assembly line. He's something unique. To make Aragorn black is a political decision. There's no other reason to flout canon to such a radical degree than for diversity and inclusion. Calling out this politicization is appropriate. It's not poetic license, it's attacking the fandom. It's not fan art. It's an officially licensed Lotor product. It's meant to be representing Aragorn with Anduril. Remember that these people are pathologically incapable of telling the truth. They're so twisted by lies that they can only believe you live in a world of untruth too. Nobody cares that he's black. They care Aragorn was deliberately misrepresented. And it's just like, bro. Aragorn's not real. Aragorn can be any race. Like, white Aragorn isn't real either. What? What are you talking about? Also, it's like just the mental dissonance here is particularly delicious because, like, here. He isn't a product on an assembly line. He's something unique. And then it's an officially licensed Lotor product. Just, like, yeah, no, yeah, it's a product. It's a product. God, dude. Dude. Wait until Sargon learns that sometimes one person will tell a story one way, and then another person will tell it a different way. When two people tell the same story, they often don't verbatim repeat one another. Sargon is such a little piss baby. Like, he really is. Like, also, Aragorn is a mythical character. If this doesn't exist to you, well, if he's a mythical character, then he doesn't exist. For the same reason, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson can play Hercules, even though Hercules would have been Greek and not, you know, like Pacific Islander. Like, yeah, like, it's fine. That happens all the time in all creative pursuits. Just, man, dude, I don't know what breaks in your brain where you, like, see, like, a black reinterpretation of a character and your assumption is just clearly someone's trying to indoctrinate the kids. Conservatives get so fucking weird about Lord of the Rings, man. And honestly, I think the healthiest thing Lord of the Rings as an intellectual property has done is introduce non-white characters to that world, because holy shit, I'm getting a sneaking suspicion here from the far-right backlash against Aragorn being made black in a trading card game that these people will never play. I'm getting the sneaking suspicion that one of the things they fundamentally liked about Lord of the Rings was how fucking white it was, you know? When did Sargon go from centrist anti-SJW to whatever the fuck he is now? Yo, Sargon has always been just fucked in the head. Like, the main thing Sargon was able to do well was, like, keep his cool and, like, have a somewhat decent grasp of rhetoric. Those were the two things that Sargon did somewhat okay, and he's not good at anything else, you know? Like, Sargon for years has been making, like, real sus comments about, like, the age of consent and children. He's been complaining about, like, women being in video games and shit. Like, he's been like this for a real long time, you know? Has Sargon flipped on the religion thing? I'm not sure what you mean by the religion thing. In terms of Western portrayal of minorities media, how accurate versus inaccurate do you think Edward Said's Orientalism? Spicy Tricks, can you take another stab at that question? Because I don't understand what you're trying to ask. He used to be big in the atheist community. I mean, hey, a lot of the milady types from the atheist community did not age well, you know? Unfortunately. Yeah, honestly, Gay Aaron, I feel like most of this is, like, the same thing he would have said, like, you know, 8 years ago. He just hasn't grown. Everyone else has, you know? Yeah, Amazing Atheist grew, like, learned and grew, and, like, now what is he, like, a ANCOM now? Something like that? Anarcho-communist? That time Sargon ruined an entire political party? Yeah, that's because of the things he couldn't stop saying about children. Yeah, just Here's one, is this it? No, this isn't it. Where is it? Oh, the original video is taken down. Curious. Oh, here we go. Can I find it? Can I find it? Do 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 do. I think this might be it.
I think it's, yeah, it depends on the child, really, doesn't it?
I was well under the age of 11 when I started having sex, and so what I like to do is put people on the other side of the argument. It's like, what you have to do is you have to say that someone like me, not anybody else, but me, that I was too stupid to appreciate the nature and quality of what I was doing at the time.
Yes.
So please convince me I didn't know what I was doing.
You were a child.
Yeah, I think it's, yeah, it depends on the child, really, doesn't it? Because some kids
That's what the Catholics say.
That's, well, it's true, and it's true though. It's it should really be a case by case basis. But I can see why the whole thing. But it's not really something I'd ever put too much thought into, to be honest.
Strange. Sargon of Akkad arguing that, age of consent might get a little bit unknowable depending on the child. Maybe they're just a really mature 10. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Oh, God. Oh, Edward Said is an author. His last name is Said. Or Said. I have not read that book. I also don't know who that is. So, there we go. Yeah, that's the clip that came out during his run for UKIP, Man, for real? I thought, one thing about Elon coming back and taking over Twitter that has made my life just that much worse is the fact that now there are just Twitter accounts with dicks as the profile picture. Like, just actual dicks. So that's cool. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Loosen up, guys. It's just Aragorn. He's black now. It changes very little about the character. Nothing to worry about. Changes very little about the character, but makes the setting way better. Just as an FYI. Way more, relatable, and takes away some of the idea that, is kind of baked into the Lord of the Rings ethos, which is good guys are white, bad guys are black. I feel like making Aragorn black deliberately, overturns that sort of, paradigm. Yeah, Spectral Pyre, I remember when, people were really excited about The Desolation of Smaug, the second Hobbit movie, because it had a black character in it. And then I went to watch the movie, and, the black character is, a background extra who's on screen for all of, 3 seconds. the bad guys weren't black. Okay, but you understand that, like, the general understanding of the film is that the closest we see to black people in Lord of the Rings are orcs. Like, there's a reason why a lot of the discourse around, like, D&D and, like, racialization is because of, like, associations that people draw between orcs and black people. Whether like deservedly so or not, depending on the setting, obviously, but like Lord of the Rings was really kind of the epicenter for that discourse. And yeah, also the whole thing with like evangelicals in America believing that black people and were descendants of Cain and therefore could be enslaved, and arguing that for hundreds of years to maintain black people as property. Like, that has a pretty deep run in our society, unfortunately. And so there are a lot of similarities between that and kind of the spiritual conception of orcs in the, I almost said the League of Legends, and the Lord of the Rings. And that's unfortunate. Because I think that just blame Jackson, not Lord of the Rings. Yeah, but even Tolkien was like aware of this at the time. Like, you can read some of his letters where he talks about the problem of orcs. And the problem fundamentally in the lore of Lord of the Rings is that the orcs are supposed to be irredeemably bad, but that clashes with like his ethos and progressive policies or politics. And so like he really struggled with that for a long time, you know? And for those of you who don't know what the lore of orcs is in Lord of the Rings, essentially the big bad guy like kidnapped elves and men and had them interbreed and then tortured them for generations until he basically broke everything that made them what they were. Okay? That's the entire thing. They're a product of essentially eugenics-based genocide. And, you know, Tolkien kind of understood that was a problem. And that it would be a problem to say that they were fundamentally irredeemable, you know? So, yeah. Look, all I'm saying, is that sounds like slavery for sure. There were a lot of parallels. He was aware of it, and had and tried to like do some work to fix it in his own lore, but it just didn't come together quite well enough for the films. And yeah, I think I gotta be honest with you. Well, I think that Peter Jackson deserves some amount of blame for the overwhelming whiteness of the films. I think that that's also something that is like would have been a problem with Tolkien's work itself, just in general. Tolkien conceived of Lord of the Rings as kind of like this grand British like epic in the vein of Beowulf, you know? A kind of mythology for the British to hang their hat on. And like, yeah, it would have had a very similar problem had Tolkien like made the movie himself, you know? Let's see. 40K orcs are not as good as Lord of the Rings orcs? I mean, I really like 40K orcs. I like them. They aren't super complicated, but man. I mean, you know, I actually, I don't know. Would Peter Jackson have had like the sway to like get other actors on board? I don't know enough about the production of Lord of the Rings to like say anything definitive there. All I'm saying is they could have fixed it with the film. They didn't. That's a bit of a failure on Jackson's part. I still love Lord of the Rings. You can criticize the things you love. It's fine. Oh, you meant the reverse? Gotcha. Well, yeah, I imagine he had a lot of trouble getting people on board for like a 3-film-in-1 shoot in New Zealand, a place nobody wanted to go. Oh, hey, chat, guess what? Top of the hour ad break, everybody. Are you enjoying the show? Are you having a good time? Would you like us to unlock the ability to watch an episode of Star Trek? Hello. You can make that happen by donating some subs or making a dono. Let's go, people. It helps me to stay alive and helps me to know you're not homophobic. There we go. And remember to like the stream, subscribe, hit the follow button, all the good things. Blue Rider of Neptune, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm in the clear, paid my tax. What's your excuse? True, Airbnb-abortion, not transphobic during Pride Month. Be more like Airbnb-abortion, chat. How about some more spirit science? Well, if we don't unlock Star Trek, we are gonna watch a Jubilee video.
Mufasa, you know we finally here, right?
Well,
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday,
what?
what?
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, Saturday, Sunday, what? Friday then, Saturday, Sunday, what?
Let's go! Let's go! What? 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 Hey! 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 No, you did!
Still Friday for me. Let's go, babies. Hello, purple gold anime hero. Yo!
Let's go with Star Trek.
Ashley! With the 26 gifted tier 1 subs. Oh my god. Ashley! Thank you so much. Holy moly, we did it. We did it, folks. Ashley, the most non-homophobic and non-transphobic of all of you. It's true. It's true. God damn, Ashley. Thank you so much. Okay, so, chat, hear me out here. We're about to try and watch this Star Trek show. Now, there is a very distinct possibility that YouTube, with its very advanced DMCA tracking algorithm, will be able to tell that I'm streaming something I shouldn't. If the stream shuts down, just let me know and we'll switch it over to Twitch, okay? We good? We Gucci? We good? You guys good? I'm a man with many names. Aw, hey Kairyu. Have you tried using a filter to help with that? No? Okay. Here we go. We're gonna start with episode 1. I actually have no idea what the presence is of this. What the premise. What the premise is of this, not the presence. Jesus. 10-letter name, you go get some band stuff done. But first, before you go, what band thing do you play? Do you sing? Do you guitar? Do you horn? What do you do? Oh, Distron, I don't think that works, frankly. BRB, gonna get snacks? So it's fan-made? No. It is the entire first season of Star Trek New Worlds that has been uploaded by Paramount Plus for us to watch and enjoy on YouTube. I know what the premise of Star Trek is, I just don't know what this show is about. It's Shut the Fuck Up. It's Shut the Fuck Up Friday. It's always Shut Up the Fuck Friday. Every day is Shut the Fuck Up Friday. Before we get started, I need to feed my dog and give her her pill. Okay. Let's see here. Took a couple of edibles and gave my dog her pain meds. Going to set a timer for 30 minutes so that I know when to give her her wet food. There we go. And folks, we are going to keep this show going until either the MCA notices take us down, or alternatively, until you guys want it to stop. Every 10 subs after this, folks, we'll add another episode to our Star Trek watch list. Let's go, folks. Okay. Fingers crossed for no DMCA. All right. Yep. The DMCA happened. It happened. Abort, abort, abort. Okay. Okay, here we go. Force refresh for stream. We good? You guys Gucci? We back? Yeah, baby, we back. All right. I probably need to just end the YouTube stream.